Hey, you guys, I'm excited to be on with you. We are excited to be on
Yes, we
with
are.
you today because this topic is one that is kind of fun, but it's also very important to consider. And what we're going to be talking about are the things that you don't do in your business,
Yep.
being just as important, if maybe sometimes more important than what you do.
Yes.
Oftentimes we have the checklist of all the things that we need to do. Okay, and it feels like half the time you can't breathe because there's always something to do, especially as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, you're wearing all the hats, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing all the things, you're doing the marketing, you're doing all the research, you're doing it all yourself, and it can feel like you've got an overload,
Yep.
okay? Let me know if you can relate to this,
Yep.
okay? Because I know for us, even as a team, we find ourselves in a position like, there's just never ending things to do,
Yeah.
okay? Like when do you take a breath? And oftentimes this is where overwhelm can come in because people feel like they've just got so much and I can't get it all done, so they fall off. And we work with clients often on that where they have so much going on and they feel like they have to do all the things all the time, all at once. Okay, they experience burnout. So what we're going to be talking about today, you guys, are the things that you don't do in your business being as important, if not more important than what you do.
Because a lot of times we overlook the things
Yes.
that we don't actually do. We don't even necessarily, it's not clear, it's not conscious, we don't think about it. Okay, it's just, I have this, like Becky mentioned, this laundry list to do, and I haven't even thought about the things that I might not be doing in my business.
Okay, so you guys, do you like to have fun? Let me know. I like to have fun. Okay, Tim and I love getting away and spending time together, exploring.
Yes.
It's one of the things that we really made at a point to do with our girls. And when the accident happened, we were able to look back and be able to see everything that we did. And it was heartbreaking because it wasn't nearly as much as we wanted, but at the same time, we did. Okay,
Yes.
we made sure that we made getting out and connection and exploring very much an integral part of our life.
And you guys, looking back, like Becky's mentioning, this for me specifically, I look back on this time and I am so grateful, you guys, that we did the things that we did do.
Yes.
Hey, that we went out and we spent that time. Yes, we always wish that we could spend more. But when I look back at the time, we really lived, okay? We really went out and we did the things that we wanted to do. We worked hard. We also played hard.
Played hard, if not harder.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. If you guys are not having fun in life, okay, and your business is part of your life,
Yes.
it fuels your life in most cases.
Okay, we want a lifestyle business. At least I know we do. And hopefully you can relate to this. If you're looking for a lifestyle business, part of having that lifestyle business, you guys, is just what I mentioned. It's working hard, but also being able to play hard.
Yes. So having fun is huge. Okay. If you're not having fun in your business, you're going to find yourself falling off. You're going to disconnect from your purpose. It's going to feel like a whole lot of yuck.
Yep.
All the time. And it's really hard to get excited, inspired, and motivated to do things in your business when you're feeling like that.
Yep.
Can we agree?
Yes.
Okay. And if you disagree, let me know because I'd be curious about your perspective. Okay. But one of the things that we work with first with our clients when we're working on time blocking, okay, and mapping out things in their business. And I remember that when my mentor had this conversation with us, I was kind of like, that doesn't make sense. Okay. But the first thing that you put in your calendar, you guys, is vacation.
Yes.
Okay. This is once a quarter for a couple days. Now you're like, wait a second, I don't have time to breathe and get everything done in my business, let alone take a vacation. Okay. I hear you. I get it. Okay. Because we jam pack our schedule so full that if there was time off, okay, it gets shoved to the bottom of the pile.
Yep.
Or maybe you're in a position where financially, like I can't take time away from my business. I'm barely making ends meet, or I'm in the red. I can't do that. Okay, stay with us. Okay, because we're not talking about taking the kids to Europe, and with COVID, there's other issues going on right now. I get it. You have different limited things, potentially in your area that are restricting you from doing maybe the things that you would like to in the travel vacation bubble.
Yes.
Okay. But what we're talking about here, you guys, is booking time specifically in your calendar every quarter, every 3 months. Okay. For those of you, every 3 months is a quarter. This is something so that you can put a placeholder for you to do something that allows you to take time away from your business.
Yes, because if you're pushing, constantly just pushing, you're going to burn out.
Yes.
Okay. that time away, that time with family, that time with friends, that time by yourself, okay, is time to recharge. And if you are not recharging, you cannot expect to build this massive business. You cannot expect to give yourself and your time and all these things to so many other people if you're taking care of number one, which is you. If you're not recharging your own battery, eventually you're just going to burn out. You're going to be done. Okay, the most effective people in business play just, if not harder, they play harder because they've built out, when they actually are in work mode, they've built out systems that are leveraged, that are effective. They've learned to work smarter, not necessarily harder. They've built out ways. And since they're recharging themselves, their mind is being on its most effective level. Okay, they can actually perform at a whole nother level. And when those hard times do come up in business and stuff, they can actually handle them because they've had that time to recharge their mind, to relax. Not to mention, it gives you something to look forward to, so that when you are in that go, go, go mode, which happens occasionally, we are able to we have something that we can look forward to that is coming up, that time to recharge.
Yeah, and really it also helps you stay connected to the things that you love. I cannot count how many people that we've worked with that have lost all excitement for what they're doing. They're like, I don't even know what it is that I'm doing this for anyway. What was the purpose 2 or 3 years ago? Because I'm not seeing the results. I'm not doing all these things. It's straining my marriage. You know, I have less time with my kids. All the things I thought I was sacrificing time for are not netting me what I want. Okay, so really intentionally booking in this time, okay, vacation time, okay, is essential so that you can have that time reserved for you, your family, okay, your group, whatever it is that you do, that you enjoy. Okay, that time away where this is a non-work zone, okay, where you can actually be present with those you care about most is essential, so that when you're working, as Tim mentioned, when you're working, you're working. Okay, you've got the sign on the door, do not disturb, I'm in my zone, I'm doing these things, it's been communicated, okay? But when it's time off, when you're on vacation,
unplugged.
You are not answering emails. You are not sending out your messages. You're not checking inventory. You're not checking with the supplier. You're saying, I am gone for the next 24 hours or 48 or whatever it is that you can do, okay? So that you have time for you to recharge and reconnect to those things that you enjoy. Now, let's identify here a couple of the excuses that we get often, okay? and I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'm just going to come back around the circle around.
And I'm just going to preface this really quick before she goes there with, we mentioned in the beginning our story, right? And what happened with us, and we look back at the time that we spent with our girls and stuff. I honestly, you guys, can say full-heartedly that I would be just beside myself if I looked back on the time that we had with our girls and all I saw was work, 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 and our girls being pushed off to do something else. Okay?
Yeah, and I'm getting all
bringing up the emotions, but it's important. It really is. And you don't realize how important this subject is a lot of times until it's too late. It really is a big thing to schedule in the time with those that you love, the time for yourself to recharge. It is important, and that is how come we're discussing this. So I just wanted to preface that.
Because often it is so easy to get caught up with the things, right? That you don't realize. It's like, oh my gosh, I have plans today, and at 3 o'clock I'm going to do this. Then, oh wait, the carryover. Okay. And so how many days are you in that cycle of pushing the envelope and things are falling off? The reality is if you don't put these things in your calendar, that time is going to be filled up with other things. Whether that's on a day-to-day or a week-to-week or monthly or quarterly, whatever it is, if it's not in your calendar, it basically doesn't exist in your mind. It has not been externalized. You don't see it anywhere. It's just a nice thought. Okay. And oftentimes when we talk to our clients about this, they're like, well, I don't have the money. Again, right? I'm in the red. I don't have time. Maybe you're working another job plus building a business and you've got kids and you're doing homeschool. You're doing all the things. You don't have time. I'm going to call BS. Okay. And I'm just going to be hard-nosed about it and say BS. You can find something to do that is away from your business. It can be simple as taking the kids to a park. And if you guys are stuck inside, maybe it's going into a different room and creating time to play a game that you haven't before. Okay, these things do not have to be extravagant. You don't have to leave your home. You don't have to leave your community, depending on your restrictions with COVID financially. This is just a time where you've protected it and you're saying, you know what, I'm not working. Okay, I'm working on my relationships with my family. I'm spending time with those that mean the most.
The people that I'm doing this business for.
Because that is ultimately, for most of the entrepreneurs and business owners that I have talked to, you're in business to make money so you can have a better life for your family.
Yep.
Okay, and if you want a better life for your family or your partner or whatever it is, your organization, your community, it's important to you because you're making so many sacrifices. Do not lose what means most to you, that you're building this all for, because you're too busy. And you're not taking time. Now, I'm also going to, caveat here. That does not mean that there's not sacrifice involved. Does not mean that every single day you're just playing all the time. This means that you've communicated with those in your world about what your office hours are, what it looks like when you're not. And also for a family, like, hey, I've got a run that's coming up for the next 2 months where I've got this product I'm creating or a new launch that I'm doing. But you guys, do you see right here on the calendar?
Yep. On the end of that, when that's over, we are going on this trip or we are doing this thing. It gives those that you loved something to look forward, not only for you to look forward to when you're pushing through, but also it lets your family know, hey, when mom or dad are done with this thing, we are going on this trip or we are going here or we are doing this thing. It gives them something to look forward to, and they know that they're not just being pushed off for work, but that there is time coming up. Mom or dad has to do this thing, but as soon as we're done, we are spending time as a family. We are doing this cool thing. And you guys, I also want to mention this too. This, Becky mentioned, quarterly, going on trips, those kinds of things. Okay, take this down to the micro level too, on a daily basis.
Yep.
Okay, it's, if you're putting in 10-hour days on your business, let's just say, and you're grind that whole 10 hours, again, you're going to burn out. You're not going to be as effective. You have to schedule in during those hours of business some time for you to recharge, step away from the computer, step away from whatever that activity is that you're doing. And, go spend some time with the family for half hour, whatever that is. You need to schedule in those blocks during your day to also step away from it. Get your mind clear. You'll be surprised also at how much more effective you will be when you come back to the desk.
Yes.
After you've taken that few minutes to step away, step into a different room. A lot of times the best thing to do is step outside, get some fresh air. Just have your mind to clear. You'll have impressions, thoughts, things come to you that don't necessarily when you're blinded by the screen, that suddenly when you come back to it, you'll be like on.
Yep. And that one of the techniques that we like to use with our clients is called the Pomodoro technique.
Yep.
Okay. So you're working intentionally, for about 20 minutes and then you take a 10-minute break.
Yep.
Okay. Whatever that task looks like for you, everybody's a little bit different. It may be 20 minutes, maybe 30, 45, an hour. But the point, as Tim was getting to, is you're taking time to reset your brain.
Yes.
So your brain can have a little bit of time off.
Yep.
Okay. So it can breathe, okay? And it starts to file things away. It's always going. And so when you take a little bit of pressure off, you are able to come back more focused and intentional. And there may be days, you guys, when you're building out your schedule, we'll actually do, I think, a training on actually time blocking and specifically what that looks like will be
there
helpful.
You go.
So we'll do that again in the future. Make sure that you are liked, you've subscribed to our channel, okay? You're following us and liking us.
So
if that's interesting to you, so you can catch it, because that will be
Absolutely.
one that will be coming down the pipeline, because it is huge
Yep.
to how do you structure your day? What are some of those things that might look like? How do you can actually make the Pomodoro technique work for you, and then just help you evaluate yourself, what's working for you, what's not, when you're starting to feel that overwhelm, that over saturated mind, if you will, where nothing else is able to come in, okay, because you've been doing so much, okay?
Yes.
So it's important. The point of this is, you guys, it's important to take the time for yourself that you need, okay? And booking it in your calendar is really the only way that it's going to happen.
It is the first thing you need to do.
First thing in your calendar is your time, that undisputed, non-negotiable time for you, for your family, for your vacation. And as Tim mentioned, doing it on the daily is also important.
Yes.
If after 4 p.m., these are office hours, okay? If after 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. your time, like there's no more business, there's no more calls from teammates or business partners or anything like that, okay? then that time needs to be protected. And if you can communicate that, it will actually be more effective because you'll get more done in your office hours, and you won't find it.
You'll be more intentional.
Yep, and you won't find it encroaching on your personal life.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, again, we appreciate you spending some time with us today. Again, if you have not, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming trainings, and we will see you next time.
See you later.